You guys, we're so super excited for right now.
For right now.
Couldn't even sleep.
No.
We've got some things that, oh my goodness, it's going to change your world. It's going to change the whole perspective on what you've been doing thus far when it comes to health. Okay, I've got some helpers. Crystal and Bonnie. We want to share with you some, well, first, who are we? Yeah. You guys ask us all the time, where'd all this come from? Who are you? So we need to talk a little bit about kind of our story, right?
Sure.
Can't give you all the details, that would scare you. But it goes back about 20 years. So this is how this whole thing began for us. About 20 years ago, I met this amazing lady. At that time, I had some really bad joint pain, some things going on, some acid reflux. I hadn't told her all that, but I had this joint pain. I was a head high school football coach, and it was getting really bad. I was in my mid-30s. I was going to a massage therapist once a week for just under 2 years, and she would just work on my hands. The pain, it was no fun. And then one night, I get introduced to this gal who tells me, I'm asking, well, who are you? What do you do? And she goes, well, let me just tell you, I want to save the world.
It's true.
It's true.
I'm still working on it.
And she's still working on it.
Looking for your help.
So I thought, okay, that's cool, corny, whatever. And we talked a little bit more, and she told me she'd worked with some doctors and some professional athletes. And so I went and saw her. I figured I got nothing to lose. I'd been to specialists in Phoenix and Scottsdale. And the bottom line was this. She started teaching me some things that changed my life forever. See, I already had been researching for a few years. I had lost my mom to colon cancer, and I didn't understand why at a young age that had happened to her. So I wanted to be more preventative. I wanted to know more. And when I went and saw Tylene and I told her what I was dealing with, and we won't get into all the details, but she just kind of looked at me and said, no. See, Sean, there are things out there which I'll call disease that they create so they can create a medication, a drug. And let me tell you, we don't need to get into any of that. She goes, let me tell you what your problem is. You remember what you told me?
Yes. So the thing he thought he had, that everyone told him he had, starts with an A, ends with itis. Just saying. I said, that doesn't even exist. I said, they have to create a disease in order to create a drug. I said, what you have is the inability to digest your proteins. And therefore, you have excess uric acid throughout the system that ends up being called this thing. And really all you need to do is start digesting it every time you're eating it. He's like, no, that's too simple.
So I didn't really believe her. You guys seen that pudding demonstration? Yeah. So she taught me 20 years simply with the pudding. Let me tell you what happened. About 4 days after that, I remember driving in Arizona. My hands, all of a sudden, I felt my hands didn't hurt. And I'm like, kind of freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I call her up. I said, listen, I don't know who you are. You're not a doctor. You said you play one on TV and things like that. But I have no pain. And I go, I just want to know, is the pain going to come back? And she says, yes, if you don't come back and see me so I can talk to you some more. And all these things I'd been struggling. You guys, I had acid reflux and all these things. I'm the youngest of 8 kids. It kind of runs in my family. And so I went and saw her, and that just led us to research, more research. She was already researching, I was researching, and a few years later we started saying, let's have an education company. And we ended up doing that, and that was cool. But then all these famous people started coming to us, and professional athletes, and then it kind of got off our path. And then we ended up in all these thousands of stores and doctors and all this stuff. And that was cool, but bottles don't talk. They can't talk, right? They can't talk. So what was the point? And we had to get back on track. We had to get back to education, and that's why we're here. That's where this whole thing began. It's not the latest and greatest thing, you guys. This research goes back to the late 1800s, all the way through into the 1930s. We have done this thousands and thousands of times. And yes, we've worked with some really cool athletes and all that stuff, but it wasn't about that to us. It was about everyday people like Tylene and I. That was the key. That was the most important thing. We want you to just understand, it is education. You got to understand, people need this information. We are the sickest generation this country has ever seen. This is the biggest natural disaster we have ever faced. And no one talks about it. And you guys, raise your hand if you know if you or someone, even just in your family or a close personal friend, are dealing with some type of health issue. Okay? It's all over the place. So we want to teach you what we've been doing to introduce Trinan. All those things you learned thus far are fantastic. In teaching, I was listening to Jennifer Dowd. Jennifer Dowd, oh my gosh, she's amazing yesterday, of what she does and how she teaches. And all those principles are the same when we do these healthy lifestyle talks, right? There's simple things that we do, but we want to share with you a little bit further what happens. I want to talk about, let's bring Bonnie up here for a second. Bonnie, come here. Look at this lady. We have some slides, and I don't know if we'll even use them, but we're going to just talk for a minute. Bonnie, tell everyone what you've been doing just in the past. Let's just talk about this month. Tell everyone what you do to share Trinan.
Oh boy, you guys, it's so much fun. So what I do is I like 100%. Who likes 100%? Okay, so everybody needs education, right? Both health and wealth, right? But what I found is that it's so simple to start with health because it just opens the door. So I just start talking and sharing and like inviting to a health talk. Who's all having health talks out here? Awesome. Is it easy to invite to? Do people love them? Yeah. Do they invite like tons of people the next time? It's so simple, you guys. It's so simple. And if you don't have a health talk going on, everyone can have this, right? Like people know me. It's in my car. Pudding is in my car. It's in my purse. It's everywhere. I do a pudding demo everywhere I go. Everyone I meet, and we carry this, right? and then I get them on a video of Sean and Ty. It's so simple.
Keep that. Don't give me that. Okay, wait a minute. How, and Crystal, you can verify this. What would your guesstimation be of new associates this month for you?
Oh my gosh, it's more than quadruples, I think.
Give me a guess. Guesstimate on numbers. How many new associates this month?
Well, new associates this month would be 35, but I had 100% reactivation.
Whoa, what? 100% reactivation?
Because of the health talks.
Because of the health. 30 what? 30 some new
35.
associates. 35
but they're
new associates.
having huge success.
Hold on, wait. Let me ask you a question. This is going to freak you out right here. This is what I want you to understand. Have you ever presented the business?
No.
What? Never presented the business.
No.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
I want to get this lady up here. Crystal? You guys know Crystal? I've heard sometimes, well, Sean, we're not you and Tylene, okay? We don't want you to be us. We're too weird. You couldn't handle being us. Engineer background. Love the wealth side. You crush it on the wealth side. And you were like, oh, wealth. I remember. I know you. Now what?
Okay, so what I observed was when we launched health, we were blessed to have Sean and Ty in our marketplace. And what I watched was when we launched a health talk, just a health education talk, we almost didn't even mention Trinan actually in the talk, the room was packed. And then they decided they were going to leave and help other people in the company. And we were like, hey, we want you in Arizona. But I knew we needed to duplicate them. And I said, okay, let's do it. And so I jumped into health talks because I knew butts were in seats. And we pack out every health talk that we have. What did I want to say?
How do you intro, since you're not a health expert?
Yeah, okay, so any of you that does anybody want to do a health talk in their marketplace? You can do it, because we just did it. Here's key. If you're starting out doing a health talk and you don't have a medical background, you got to say that up front. So, because I don't need people coming up to me afterwards saying, my cousin has blah, 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 how do I fix it, right? So I say, hey, my name's Crystal. I don't have a medical background. I'll tell you that up front. I'm actually an engineer. But I am doing this health talk today because I am absolutely passionate about this information we're about to share. And I know that every single person out there who eats food needs this information. So this education that I'm going to give you tonight, I've studied. You can study it as well, but I've learned every bit of education that I'm going to give you tonight from this fabulous couple named Sean and Tylene Loomer, who have been educating people in health for the last 20 plus years, and I've watched them change thousands of lives.
Perfect.
And then I share why I'm passionate about this information. I tell a story about my husband because it relates to people in the room. That's why I became passionate, and I'm here to educate you all on what I've learned and what I've watched over the last 6 months.
That's awesome. So your team doing pretty good?
Team's doing really good.
Okay.
We actually, last month was a hard month for us. And we decided at the beginning of this month we're only doing health talks in living rooms, and we're in momentum. We'll say that. Who's here because of a health talk in Arizona right now? All of you. This row up here. So.
Hey, do me a favor. Go to that first slide. Since you have the little clicker, they don't let me have the little.
This one that's up here.
I don't know. What was the first one? Nope. Yeah. Nope. Yes. Okay. If we can have that slide up, the healthy lifestyle talks. I'm going to talk to it and okay. This is another way of getting people in front of Trinad. That's all it is. Okay? If you would like people to see Trinad, you've got to keep it super simple. Where's that other slide at? There we go. Okay. We never mention business opportunity. We don't say the word Trinad. We promote and invite for a healthy education talk, or a health talk, or a healthy lifestyle talk. People are seeking this information now more than ever. We've been doing this a long time. A long time. Are there health issues going on in this country? Yes. Yes. People know that. They understand that. Listen, I'm 54. My amazing wife, she's going to be 50. Can't wait this year. We're a blended family. We have 6 kids. We have 7 grandkids. Did you know you can look to see all these different things that are going on in the health industry? One of the things that is being said is that our generation is the first generation that it is anticipated that we will outlive the children.
Not good.
Did you know that's not acceptable to us? Autism, I never even heard of autism. Then it was 1 in 2 million, 1 in 1 million, 1 in 200,000, 1 in 100,000. Right now, depending on what research you go look at, it's 1 out of 50-some, 1 out of 60-some children born in this country are somewhere on the spectrum. Did you know they are saying within the next 10 to 12 years, if we don't change what we're doing health-wise, every other child born in the United States will be somewhere on the spectrum? Did you know? Imagine what it's going to look like then. We have to wake people up. We have to wake people up. And people are seeking this simple information. This is not difficult. It is not difficult. We've got to let them know, and that's what this is all about. And that's why people come, and they bring people. You can advertise it. You can promote it. And remember, when they get there, it's just a health talk. There are no banners up. There are no overviews. That's a business meeting, and that's fabulous. A health talk is a health talk. That's it. A health talk is a health talk. Don't blend the two when you're doing a health talk. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Everyone that leaves that health talk, and we'll talk about this, 80 to 100% will either be a customer or an associate without ever sharing the business. We're going to talk about that. Don't have products displayed. Don't bring them into your home or wherever you're at and have all these products out. Because people come in and they go like this. What are they going to try to sell me? No products up. Have your products there, but just have them put away. Introduce yourself, do your little, why. Maybe something that you've experienced. Crystal talks about with her husband and what she has learned, those types of things. Do your own little personal experience. Go into the gut, right? We talk about, which is pudding. You guys, do you believe, you just have to ask yourself, do you truly believe yet that everything in our body starts with digestion? Yes. Now, I mean, honestly, did Did you know you can be so preventative with your health? And you can help other people deal with issues they've dealt with for years simply by cleaning up the gut. Do you believe that? Do you think anyone in this audience or anyone in this country is drug deficient? No. We're nutrient deficient. Everyone needs to know. Now you're hearing these famous people and doctors and all these, they're all talking about gut health. They're talking about the gut is the other brain. They're coming around. And this little amazing lady's been saying this and screaming it for 20 years. This is real, you guys. That's why, has anyone had any testimonials in here? Anyone, raise your hand if anyone you know. Oh my God. That's what it's about, and that's why we've got to share this information. Chris, what else do we have on here?
I think it's important to say that we go into 3 topics: gut health, nutrients, right? Whole food vitamins, and brain food. I talk about those 3 things.
All 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Click me another slide. So gut is pudding. All we're teaching is fresh and living food has life. They have enzymes in them. Cooked and heated or processed food is dead. Life gives life. Death, I won't go in there, okay? Life gives life. That's all we're doing. We show them the difference. If you would like a little prop to give someone a visual, have a banana or an apple. That would be an example just sitting there. If you'd really like to have some fun, go through that company that they sell, I think they've sold billions of something, burgers. Go buy one of those. There's 2 reasons you go to that place. The bathroom, or to buy a burger and keep it. Just keep it like a pet. Just keep it like a pet. Because I will tell you this, and we've done this in 5 years, in 8, 10, 12 years, you can open it up and it'll look exactly the same. Oh my. And that is a visual people can see. Okay? Fresh and living, dead. That's very simple. Okay?
And
what
you
else?
can even ask, powerful, you can ask testimonies.
Testimonials are...
And just say, does anybody in the room have experienced what the enzymes that we're talking about has done for them? Powerful.
What else we got? Anything good? Close already? Man, okay. The testimonials are really a good way, obviously, just like in anything. You've always heard facts, tell, stories, sell. The beauty of what a health talk is, you don't have to sell. How many people in here want to sell something? No. Did you know if you help people with health, the money comes? Did you know that digestive enzymes and probiotics that we have been dealing with and Tylene has been mastering over the years, did you know for all these years that over 90% of people who have used that product reorder that product with no compensation? Do you understand that? Do you understand our residual is based on what? Volume. Volume is volume is volume. Is there any volume difference in whether it's a customer or an associate? No. Did you know we're seeing about 25 to 30% thus far already converting from customers to associates? Did you know we've never shared the business? What? The story Bonnie just told, we have another gal, we just did a health talk in Vista, California. Her name is Linda. Last time I checked, she had a little over 20 people there. Last time I checked this month, she's got between 28 and 30, maybe just over 30 new associates, and we've never presented the business. You tell me. What's better? Do what you do. Here's the thing. Some people in this room are amazing recruiters. They have a skill set. Their confidence level is way up here. Right? But let's be transparent. Not everyone is that way, are they? No. Let me tell you what will build confidence in an associate quicker than anything you've ever seen. And that's inviting to a health talk. Because it's harmless. And people will show up. And people that have not had a lot of success getting them to a business talk, they'll have success getting them to a health talk. Why? Because everyone needs this information. Then that associate's confidence goes way up. And then we get them introduced to Trinan. And then down the road, a few days, a week, whatever, they're digging what's going on, we show them all the other pieces to the puzzle. Did you know you can get more people approved on, you tell me if I'm wrong, on policies, on those life policies, if they're healthier when they go to have their blood work done and when they come in? Yes or no, Crystal? Yes. What do you think's going to do it? See, our river of life in our body is our blood. And everything in our body starts with digestion. Two things need to happen when we eat. We need to break our food down to the smallest usable, absorbable molecule. And that happens naturally in our body when it's fresh and living. And when it's heated, cooked, or processed, that's where what Tylene has with life. Life gives life. The second thing that needs to happen is we need to process out of our body what our body doesn't want. So it doesn't sit in our gut and then start spreading. Ty, you want to talk just a little bit about the river life? Just real quick. Tell them what happens when the blood's not flowing. Talk to them.
Okay.
Don't get it started.
I'm surprised you gave me 8 minutes even.
No, you get 2. Go.
As you guys have noticed, they don't want me to talk too much. Because I have too much to say. But the river of life, it has to keep moving. So just picture in your mind a real river. So when a real river is flowing, it's oxygenated and things like to live in it. And things are healthy in it. As soon as there's logs that block up a real river and it gets all jammed up, what happens is that water it pools off to the side and becomes stagnant. In that stagnant water, all of a sudden you'll see the mosquitoes or the algae and things that are the bad stuff start to grow. It's the same water, that same river that's always been there, that hopefully maybe was even in your backyard. And it's the same one you recognize, but it's dying. And when things start to die like that and things are stagnant, bad things like to happen. So in your body, your river of life, as soon as the cholesterol crystals from you not digesting your fats properly, as soon as the uric acid crystals from you not digesting your proteins correctly, as soon as this stuff starts to pile up and block this blood pathway, your arteries, your capillaries. Now, if that your blood has to travel in 60 seconds throughout your body. So if there's any of these blockages and it's trying to get to your heart, you could have a heart attack. If it's trying to get to your brain, you could have an aneurysm, you could have a stroke. If it's trying to get back down to your big toe to give you some circulation and the blood pools because there's blockages, you're gonna have varicose veins. So what happens is you also are losing your oxygen. And if you study cancer, you'll see a lot of things on cancer that cancer can't live in an oxygenated environment. What's happening in most people's body is it's getting stagnant. Things are clogging up. High blood pressure is because the heart is having to work harder to push your thick and sticky and dirty blood through your body. And it doesn't happen overnight. That burger doesn't hurt you overnight. It's the fact that we do something breakfast, lunch, dinner, every single day, 3 times a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And then we wonder, when we're 30 years old, why things are falling apart. And now we're seeing it with 10-year-olds. Things are falling apart. So I can go on and on and on, but that's just a little bit of it. And in order to fix that debris that's already in your bloodstream, you want to take the enzymes on an empty stomach. So when you're taking them with your food, 1 with each cooked meal, that's going to help not keep adding to the uric acid pile, not keep adding to the cholesterol pile. It's going to stop the madness. But when you take it on an empty stomach, it's going to go in and clean up that 20, 30, 40, 50 years of eating whatever you wanted. And so that's the beauty of it. And that's why you guys are getting so many unsolicited testimonials that are a variety of things. Because people are all of a sudden finally getting nutrients they haven't gotten in years. And their river of life is flowing again. So life really does give life. And Sean danced around dead food, but dead food absolutely brings death quicker and degenerative disease. So, 5 minutes left.
No, keep that.
Yeah.
Oh, Bonnie's gonna fall out of her seat over here.
Yeah, Bonnie's little mini me now.
Oh no.
I want a bunch of mini me.
Yes.
No, I just want to say, I'm so passionate because people really, honest to goodness, need it. They need all of it, okay? They need all of Ternat, but this is the lead-in, I'm telling you, that really works fast, and people really need it. So, is everyone on Health Wealth Community on Facebook? Yes. 100%. Like, so when you need to get all of your friends and everything on Health Wealth Community, because all it is testimonials, education, research. And the other thing is, does everyone have the Sean and Ty YouTube video? Because if not, they don't.
We're gonna do some new ones. We're gonna do some new ones that'll be very helpful for you. But go ahead.
All I do is send that out, you guys, and anybody can do it. And I don't even have to say anything more, and they call after me, and then my team does it, and the same thing happens. So people just need to know.
Awesome. We can get to Ty. So you guys, there's so much to share with you on all these simple things. You don't have to know much. You have to know that cooked and processed food taxes the body when you eat it. That's all. And fresh and living food does not. So in order to help the body give it life with that dead food, that's why we're taking the enzymes. It's not complicated. The body will start to do things on its own. That's our whole philosophy. Give the body a chance. God made this body that's perfect. And we just have gotten so far away from nature. We're in this state of not so good health. That's what we want to do. That's what leads us into our close when we're closing, our call to action. And this is hard. This is hard and different. Sometimes we get our mind and arms around. I'm asking you to believe and trust in this process. And you will have growth in Ternat like you've never seen. I promise you that. And the call to action goes something like this. When we're done giving a health talk, what we share with the people is this. We say, listen, if any of this information made sense to you, if the truth has resonated with you, and you'd like to try, this is how we say it, some of these enzymes, something like that, just whoever invited you here, get with them. They may even have some somewhere, or they'll tell you where to get it.
It's in their Jeeps.
It's in their Jeeps. That's how vague we are. That's how vague we are. And let me give you a little tip on that. Here's how we do it. They are in the Jeep, okay? Or they are in the wherever, kind of put away, or in the bag, or in the purse. We always don't have it out, but then we let them know, you know what, let me see if I have any. Let me see if I have any left. Let me see. I know, Ty, I know I have some left. How much do we have? I don't know. Let me go see. And then I go outside, and then I come in, and I got like 3 boxes. I still have a little bit left. I don't know how much. Let me open it up and let me see. And I highly, highly, highly recommend you. People are moved emotionally. They're inspired by health talks. You need inventory. You need inventory. And you guys know you don't get stuck with these products. You don't get stuck with them. It's the opposite. You run out. People want satisfaction right now. Everyone here should have at least 1 case of product, in my opinion. If you can't do that, then get a case of Life and a half a case of Vibe and a half a case of Balance. You want to see your business grow? You want to help save people? Then you need product to deliver. They want it right now. They go home, man, they're going to have that burrito, pizza. They want to have, what you just taught them, they want the enzymes right now. You have to have inventory. This is a real business. Unfortunately, we spent way too much money building our business. Ternat, we are grateful for the owners of Ternat. We are so grateful that they're an education company. That is the only reason we are doing this with Ternat. Because people need this education. And instead of giving the money to stores like Whole Foods, Ternat has made it so they can give you the money. Stop! For $99? We spent embarrassingly, I don't know how many millions of dollars building what we've built, and you can have it and soak in the world for 99 bucks? Come on, man! Come on! Are you kidding me? We're so excited, Ty's so excited to build our enzyme army, and here's the final close that we do. We tell people we need your voice. Because we might have had Steve Nash, the 2-time NBA MVP, or Tim Duncan, another 2 or 3-time NBA MVP, and all this stuff, and celebrities, and they'll go on TV and they'll say anything we ask them to. Did you know we never solicited any of these athletes or celebrities? Did you know every single one of them came to us? Did you know we never paid one of them to endorse us? That's a cool story, and that's truth. That is truth. Do you know they would go on TV and say, but we're not allowed to say these things. We love our country, but that's just the way it is. You've seen the other commercials. You've seen the other commercials. You're on TV all the time. If you have a headache, try this, blah, blah, blah. Your headache might go away, but your arm may fall off. And then what do? I'm in. And everyone runs and buys these things. No, stop it. We're not drug deficient. We are nutrient deficient. Come on. The final close is this. We need your voice. We need your voice. We have to wake people up. If you want to help us, we would love to have you, because we need your voice. Simply ask whoever invited you here today, or whoever's up there talking, as soon as we're done, and we'll show you how that can happen. We don't do it with an overview. We don't do it with anything. And guess what? It's a cause. It's a mission. It's a purpose. They don't ask for details. They say, I'm in. I'm in. We gotta help. That's what we do. You got anything in closing? Because we're out of time.
I know. Only one thing. When we said we don't mention Trinant, I want you guys to know we love Trinant.
Love it.
That's why we're with Trinant. The reason we say don't have Trinant anywhere, the same reason you shouldn't post it all over your Facebook, is people need to know things slowly. They will just Google whatever, and they'll come to their own conclusions and close their minds. So what we're doing with Health Talks is we're opening people's minds, because just like with finance and nutrition, they don't know what they don't know. So if you can get them there, then you're going to be able to enlighten them. And that's what. And when we used to travel and teach nutrition, people would be really sick and they'd tell me all of their issues, and a lot of it was their finances. Their finances were a hot mess. And I would go, I don't have a pill for that. And so when they tell you that, now you have an answer. You have the finance side of Trinant, but bring them in using whatever it is, whatever tool is going to work for you. And health is just a really easy way, and you're going to help so many people. So you guys are amazing.
Thank you so
and
much.
We love you.
We love you.